I should leave the United States. It is too expensive, it is too dangerous.
If our economy is doing so great, how come everyone is broke?
The wealthy are definitely undertaxed.
In the grocery store, at the gas pump, on the car lot, prices keep rising.
Literally, it feels like everything is going up besides our pay.
Have you ever noticed that American dream feels more out of reach than ever? It's not just you. The cost of achieving that dream is skyrocketing. Are you ready to uncover why? The American dream has a price tag most people can no longer afford. According to the analysis by Investopedia, the cost of achieving a basic middle-class life in America now totals a staggering $3.4 million over a person's lifetime. But here's the kicker. The average lifetime earnings of a US worker are about $2.3 million, leaving a shortfall of more than $1 million. The median household income in the US is around $74,580, according to the latest Census Bureau data. So, what's driving these costs up? Let's break it down. The analysis considered typical features of the American dream like getting married, buying a home, raising 2 children, and even owning a pet. When you add it all up, it costs about $3,455,305 in total. Now, while some of these expenses can be shared in dual-income households, the study highlights the increasing instability of middle-class families, rising cost of food, tuition, and living expenses, driven by higher inflation and interest rates, are making it harder to make ends meet. For instance, the average cost of raising 2 children is about $576,896. This includes a year of in-state college tuition for both kids, which, with room and board, costs around $42,070. And that number can be even higher if kids stay home past adulthood and parents help pay for more education. Runaway housing costs are putting home ownership out of reach for many. Why is this happening and what does it mean for average Americans? The median sale price for an existing home rose more than 40% between early 2020 and mid-2022. Hitting a seasonal peak of just over $400,000. And guess what? Home prices are still rising, although a bit more slowly. From March 2023 to March 2024, prices on existing homes rose another 4.8%. Now, let's talk about mortgage rates. They're twice as high now as they were in early 2022, and as of May 2, mortgage rates are at a staggering 7.2% compared to just over 3% at the start of 2022. Why the jump? These high interest rates and high prices are making it tough for home buyers. A recent survey by BMO Financial Group found that 71% of prospective buyers are waiting for the Fed to cut rates before they enter the market. Retirement costs are a huge red flag for many Americans, making it harder than ever to save for the future. Today, nearly 51% of Americans worry that they'll run out of money when they're no longer earning a paycheck, and 70% of retirees wish they started saving early. Why? Because many Americans don't have the opportunity to save for retirement. The vast majority of retirement savings come through a plan provided by the employer, typically a 401k, but an estimated 56 million private sector workers don't have a plan at work. And employees who lack access to saved plans saves less, which in turn reduces their retirement income. A recent study by the Pew Charitable Trust found that households with income above the official poverty line is less than $75,000. Home Pew deemed economically vulnerable, well fall short of their target retirement income by an estimated $7,050 a year, using the common metric that retired households need 75% of their pre-retirement income. And insufficient retirement saving hurt not only workers, taxpayers also pay the price. They found that inadequate retirement savings will significantly affect every state and the federal government over the next 20 years, resulting in a combined $1.3 trillion increase in public assistance costs. Fortunately, an effective solution to help close the gap between what workers are able to save and what they need for retirement has emerged in a spread of automated saving programs. These programs automatically enroll employees without a workplace retirement plan with an individual retirement account, IRA, into which a portion of their wages are invested every pay period. 15 states have already passed laws establishing these saving programs. Variously known as the Auto IRA, Work and Save, and Secure Choice. Over 800,000 savers in the 7 states with active programs have amassed more than $1 billion in assets since 2017. And they've been well received. In Illinois, for example, a majority participant, which is 62%, are largely low-wage workers surveyed expressing satisfaction with their state's Auto IRA program. And 4 in 10 said it improved their financial security. Meanwhile, small business owners, many of whom want to provide retirement benefits but cannot because of high administrative costs, also express support for the programs, which allow them to offer a retirement saving plans for their employees. What's more, these programs are breaking down barriers and opening access to savings for people of color, women, and others who often earn low and unstable incomes working for retail, service sectors, and other small business employers. Each worker's funds are set aside in portable, privately maintained IRA accounts. The funds are not tied to a single employer, and the employee can stop participating at any time, which roughly a third do. These workers can and do make informed decisions based on what is best for them. Some critics are concerned about the economic impact of the auto IRAs on lower-income Americans. It's true that access to retirement savings should not disqualify anyone from needed public benefits, such as Medicaid, or reduce their current standard of living. But the data shows that this concern is misplaced. When given a chance, most Americans will save money through their workplace even if they don't earn a lot. The state automated savings programs are roughly 70% of eligible workers participating. And in the private sector, Vanguard data shows that 60% of workers making between $15,000 and $30,000 participate in an employer retirement plan if one is available to them. The state-facilitated saving programs, combined with Social Security, put lower-income Americans in a better position to afford retirement. Indeed, research has shown that automated retirement saving programs can help employees delay when they claim Social Security, thereby boosting their monthly and annual security payment amounts for life. Insufficient retirement savings affect all of us, and we need to make it easier, not harder, for everyone to have the opportunity to save for retirement. But why do half of US adults no longer believe in the American dream? What's causing this drastic shift in perception? The most common economic insecurity reveals a human suffering more visceral, and perhaps less publicized than layoffs or unemployment roles. Food insecurity, with 36% of respondents saying they'd experienced it. It's possible that the budgetary items Americans feel they have most control over, and thus find it easiest to cut. It's not specified whether cutting back to save money means going hungry or foregoing an $8 bag of almonds. More blacks than Hispanics or white have had to cut back on food for economic reasons, although there's variance even among whites based on class, with a college education remaining a strong predictor for who's not going to have to make sacrifices at a dinner table. Class is yet another area where Americans' outlooks have soured. The percent of Americans self-identifying as part of the middle class have dropped from 2012 by 4 percentage points, while the percentage identifying as working class has increased by the same amount. Not much of a surprise given a pessimistic attitude about the American dream. Any assessment of economic popular opinion necessarily carries political overtones, particularly when Americans cite the economy as the most decisive issue heading into the fall's midterm elections. Republicans are more likely to report being in good or excellent financial shape than Democrats. Disagreement about whether the economy has improved over the last 2 years runs along party lines. 48% of Democrats think it has, while only 15% of Republicans think so. Republicans, however, are more likely to report being in good or excellent financial shapes than Democrats. Part of this contradiction may reflect the fact that economic sentiments are, at least in part, a referendum on a party in the White House. Thus, it's to be expected that Republicans would have a much lower opinion of economic progress since President Obama was re-elected. Furthermore, traditionally Democratic voting blocs, blacks and Hispanics, have a substantially more negative assessment of their own financial well-being, according to the report, than do white Americans. A demographic Mitt Romney carried overwhelmingly in 2012. There's also political disagreement about the role the government should play in improving the economy. Of course, the source of that disagreement often stems from what Americans think the problem are. Slightly more than half of Americans agree that unequal opportunity is among the country's biggest problems, with over 70% of Democrats sharing this sentiment and 34% of Republicans. Substantially more black Americans, 76%, than white Americans, 50%, feel this way. In fact, 42% of white don't think it's a problem if some people have more of a chance in life than others. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel by clicking the bell icon to receive timely notifications. Feel free to share your suggestions for exploring more iconic figures. Until next time!